I should probably go live then. Good morning. Hope this is working. Looks okay to me. Hello, Darko Rail fan. How are you? Actually, you've already said how you are. You've already said you're good. Excellent. I thought we might start with Scotty. In honour of new King Dick. Sorry, he's not King Dick, is he? He's King Chuck. Chucky. Chucky gets lucky. Gets a whole country. Well, whole fleet of countries. It's after midnight for you. That's cool, Darko. Me after midnight last night, I was sound asleep after spending a whole day on the steam engine. 12-hour shift. It's good fun. So here I am back on a steam engine, but we've got to wait a while because, you know, the doors are open. Let's go look at the station. Why not? So we will be running Flying Scotsman. I'm not using the default sounds. I'm using the Steam Sounds Supreme sounds. Let's go inside. That's awkward. That's probably even more awkward. I think it's someone's back, I think. Very weird. Anyway, we are running the Steam Sounds Supreme pack. It's a little bit different to the default sounds. It's a little 365. Winding its way in. There will be a special stream on Tuesday night for Peak Forest. Tuesday night for me, 10 AM British Standard Time. Or is it 10 AM UTC? One or the other. 10 AM UTC, I think. And that'll be for the new Peak Forest route in Train Sim World. Clearly I can't give you any details, but it's good. Soon we'll be allowed to leave. So today we're going to have a look a bit at... Hello Richie Peach, hope you're good. Today we're going to have a bit of a look at Flying Scotty in honour of King Chucky. And then we'll go on to Pegnitzalbahn and a bit of Long Island Railroad, and we'll finish up with a bit of Huddersfield. That's all because of the Train Sim Classic release, which didn't really change anything. Except some stuff doesn't work anymore. But it will! Now, I do believe the fixes are in the final stages, so we should see that coming out pretty quickly. So is the driver on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of Scotty? Driver is apparently on the right-hand side, because I can see the regulator there. Good. I wouldn't want that to be a prelude to my old age. It's almost time to go. So this is set in modern times, and this is set with the modern version of the locomotive. And as I mentioned earlier, we're running the Steam Sounds Supreme sound pack, not the default sounds. And just to counter all those people who go, oh, you never say anything bad about the content. I go, well, I don't like the sounds. There you go. So I'm using these ones. I'm not quite happy with these ones either because they use loops. They're not trying to time the chuffs. I'd much prefer it if it timed the chuffs. Which is what people like Train Sim New Zealand workshops do and Smokebox does. But this will do. Hello, Metra. We don't care about the history of Flying Scotsman. We just want to get out of here. Stop it. Don't tell me about it. Don't care. Brakes off. Pull forwards. We seem to have an incorrect lap code. I thought we'd run the one that I use as the intro for the game. I'll probably change that. I'll probably record something for Peak Forest for next week. Hello, Lexic Dark. Richie Pete says, it'll be longer sleep when you do Huddersfield Lions. You do a honk when you go through Dewsbury. Sure. This will be a fairly relaxed stream today. And the reason I say it'll be a fairly relaxed stream today is there's no quiz today. There's no points today. And I've prepared nothing. Therefore, it's a completely relaxed stream. And the reason I've prepared nothing is I thought, on Wednesday I thought, I'll do it tomorrow. But then something came up that the missus wanted to do on Thursday night. And then I thought, I'll do it on Friday night. And then Peak dropped. So I had to record all my tutorials for Peak. I'm going too fast. How unusual. So I had to record all my tutorials for Peak, and they're all up now. They're all done. Ooh, look. The refractory glass actually works properly. I like that. Well, actually, no, it doesn't, because the lines are bouncing up and down with the water, and they shouldn't. The lines should actually be opposite the diagonals on the gauge. Here's what I'm looking at, is these things. They should be opposite the diagonals on the gauge, but they shouldn't be moving up and down. So, that's kind of right, kind of not. That's alright. We'll come out of the tunnel soon, and we can look at the engine some more. And then I thought, I'll do it after Puffing Billy on Saturday, but this was of course foolish because, you know, I get up at 4:45 in the morning and it's a 12-hour shift. And then I come home and eat and pretty much go to sleep. So, yeah, I prepared nothing really. Surely that's okay. Richie Pete says might give Peak a miss, but likes the sound of the Glossop line. I would, and people will dismiss this as being an ambassador shill, I am sure, but I would actually encourage you to have a crack at Peak Forest. Unless you hate Steam. If you hate Steam, yeah, there's not much point. But I am going to call it now, and you know I've been involved in the beta, so I won't give you any details because I want you to experience it when it comes out. And the fact that I'd get my ass kicked if I gave you details. It is the best route they have ever made in the game. It has got the best scenarios. It's got the best scenery. They have listened to all the criticisms around Spirit of Steam, and the route is really good. Looks good. It feels lived in. Feels used. Hello, Facundo. So I won't give you any more details than that. You already know they haven't really done much to the Steam physics because you're experiencing the new Steam physics now after the patch that came out on Thursday. So if you go and drive an 8F or a 6P now, a Jubilee, you'll be experiencing what you're going to have in Peak. Why am I sitting in full forwards gear still? My fireman would be hating on me chronically at that point. About there will do. Yeah, about there. Hello, we're on top of a bridge. And now we're in a tunnel. Where's my mate gone? It's dark in here. I don't have a cab light. Tunnel, tunnel, tunnel. And no firemen. And interestingly, if you look on the outside view of this locomotive, we'll show you in a minute, but you notice which side of the locomotive I'm on? I'm on the left-hand side of the locomotive. Which is interesting, because that's the regulator on the right-hand side. So is there another regulator over here? Oh, there is. Look at that. So I am the bald bloke. Oh, no! Oh, well. It's all good. Richie Peach, it's not just freight, or goods, as it would be correctly called in the UK. It has a lot of passenger runs too. So it has both. It's got express and stopping services. It does have plenty of freight, or goods. And it does have some really engaging scenarios as well. The Gala is fun. The Gala is the first time in the game that you actually get to interact with people It's one of the things that's been long promised and sorely missed. Steam accelerates so slowly when you're trying not to use too much steam. I hope I've got automatic phone turned on, or this is going to be a short run. I don't actually remember if I do or not. Because, you know, as a real engineman and a fireman, I hate firing in this game so much. I used to like it. I used to like the technical challenge of keeping the locomotive alive. But to be honest with you, it's just so unlike firing real locomotives that it's just crap. So I don't fire in the game anymore. I only fire real ones. But that's life. It's all good. Metra, can you get wheel slip? Probably not. Richie Peach says it. Yeah, we talked about that one. Facundo says the Steam looks very nice. Wait till you get a good look at it. So I'll be streaming it on Tuesday night. I normally on my reveal streams actually do a fairly short one, but I think I might do a longer one on Tuesday night because I think it deserves it. And I'll do a proper long one next week. Richie reckons he can't afford another route until the end of the month anyway. I'm sure we all know that feeling. I am lucky enough that through Ambassador I do get them for nothing. So yes, but I do understand the costs. I understand the real impacts on life because of course I buy other games. And yeah, I very much know how that feels. It's not a cheap hobby, not by a long shot. So I certainly feel that. Metra says the 4F was used as Donald and Douglas and Thomas and Friends. Kind of. It's a different era 4F, but yes, kind of. And I'm sure, absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever, they will come out in Creators Club in Thomas repaints. I have no doubt whatsoever that that will happen. I also have no doubt whatsoever that they'll get deleted as quickly as they go up because of Mattel and copyright. I can be a bit more realistic in the driving now. We've reached speed. Slightly over it, actually. One of the things that is about to be addressed is the fact that you can't pan in the 4 key anymore. That's on the way back. Other things that are on the way back are fixes for the very complex scripted locomotives that were having some issues post the update. Oh, this one's got a cool whistle, by the way, in Steam Sound Supreme. Where is the whistle cord? There it is. You can only do it if you use this. But you can properly feather the whistle, which is kind of nice. Another green light. Lucky us. I'm just happily cruising along, still slightly accelerating. Let's get into the smoke and experience things properly. It was briefly like this in my cab yesterday. We had a moment yesterday where the guy that I was out with thought we need to cool the boiler a little, so we used the ash sprinklers. There's an electric train waiting for us, good to see. We used the ash sprinklers, and there was only one problem with using the ash sprinklers. Just as he decided to do that, I'd opened the door. We made a snowstorm in the cab. It was very funny. Took a little while to clean it up. Fortunately, our driver wasn't there yet. So, yep, what he doesn't know won't hurt him. In the Steam Sound Supreme pack, it's got the whistle that it's actually got in real life now, not the one that's it had before. So this isn't the correct whistle for Flying Scotsman as it was, but it is the correct whistle for Flying Scotsman as it is today. Oh, look at that, we're speeding again. How naughty are we? Metro says that the 4F and Donald and Douglas were known as the Scottish twins. Well, perhaps. The 4F did run in Scotland. The 4F is not just a shunting locomotive. It's been used mostly that way in the game. There are some scenarios where you'll see it with passenger runs, and in Scenario Planner, enough said there. I won't tell you anymore. Metro says his homie is here. Strange that you use the terminology homie. But anyway, that's okay, as they say in the classics. Richie is saving for a holiday. Where are you heading off to, mate? I've got a brief holiday to Tasmania coming up in the not too distant future. We're going for Dark Mofo. Not that we've booked any Dark Mofo events, and it's probably too late for that now, but that's okay. We'll still go watch stuff. We'll go and observe the midnight solstice nude swim at the beach. Watch the people freezing to death. Metro says Mattel doesn't care about Thomas. Oh, I think you'll find that they care very much about the money that Thomas makes. Which is why they do what they do. Yeah, we're down the back. And not down the back. Facundo, did you ask... Am I running... Oh, I'm running top chat, so I'm missing questions. I'm sorry, switching to live chat. Alright, so it looks like Facundo asked a question that did not come up in my chat because I was running top chat foolishly. Yes, they do run steam trains in tunnels. It's very correct. They used to run them in the London Underground, in fact. It does sound a bit like a diesel inside. Once the steam engines get up to speed, they sound quite similar. Because if you think about it, as soon as we get out of this station, and I can zoom in on the train... Alright, let's do it this way. For every revolution of the wheels, so every turn of the wheels, the piston goes back and forth twice. So if you think about the velocity we're doing right now, which is 72 miles an hour, which is quite fast, that's an awful lot of revolutions, which means that the pistons are going back and forth at a speed that's not that dissimilar to the speed of a modern diesel engine. So yes, they do in fact start to sound like diesels because they've got such a short stroke. So good observation. What's different though between a steam engine and a diesel, and even our little steam engines, the ones that I use on our rail, when I say little, they're not really. They're narrow gauge, but they're not little really. They're still quite big, quite powerful, and quite heavy. But in a modern diesel cab, you hear almost nothing. Hello, Pugface Music. How are you? Welcome. Pugface Music, if you don't know him, has a channel and also often sings on Violet's Inspiration Soup. So check him out. That's a strange place for a passenger. It's just walking in air down the middle of a tunnel. That's okay, as they say. But in a modern diesel cab, you'll hear almost nothing at all. But in a steam cab, even at 15 mile an hour like we run, which is the highest speed we run at, They're loud, like really loud. You have to yell at each other to be heard in the cab. And you do, by the end of the day, have a fairly sore voice. Oh, you're welcome, Punk-Face Music. I quite enjoy your music. We're back in a tunnel, clearly. On our way to Potter's Bar. Where are we going? Stevenage. Where's Stevenage on the route? So we're going there. Where are we? All the way down there. Ah, it's not that far. 15 miles at 70 miles an hour. Won't take very long at all. And then we'll go over to head over to Germany, Pegnitzalbahn. Actually, is it Germany or Austria? I'm not sure. Someone can figure that out for me. So clearly this one's Scotty, the next one's Peggy. I don't even care about a steam train just roared past and covered them all in crap. That's the other cool thing about steam engines. They're incredibly inefficient and wasteful machines. Richie Peach likes a nice diesel engine. Well, I think you'll be right up there with Metro, who also likes a nice diesel engine, and in fact refuses to admit that electricity even exists. I'm sure back in the day he would have joined the crowd calling it electricery and saying it was dangerous and that we shouldn't have it. Hello, Violet's Inspiration Soup. You just missed out having a shout out for your channel. Calling Pugface Pughole is conjures interesting images, Violet. We're running a little bit of Flying Scotsman way over the speed limit because we can. Got special clearance, clearly, to just roar through the stations. In honour of King Chucky, who in fact got lucky yesterday. Actually, he probably hasn't got lucky in a long time because, you know, Camilla just doesn't look the type, really. Hello, Richard. How are you? Yes, Luddites that hate electricery. What's really interesting is running a steam engine under electric wires. I've always wondered, because there's always a mist of oil and soot and crap that comes out of steam engines. It must put stuff on the electric lines. So the next train through probably has a bit of an interesting time of it. Probably a bit more arcing than usual. You can see the extreme view you get out of a steam engine. This is actually quite accurate. Our little NA class Baldwin Prairie 262 inside frame locomotives don't have too bad a viewing angle for the driver and fireman. But the South African Garrett that I was running in yesterday, yeah, you can barely see a thing. Hello, Alex Boat Caboose. The Pixels Army. Good-o. And Richard would like a bit of third rail. Well, I guess, has Huddersfield got third rail? Is Huddersfield overhead? No, Huddersfield's overhead, isn't it? Modern diesels probably not, Richie Peach. Modern diesels don't actually put out that much in the way of fumes. Not like they used to. The European standard, which must burn the Americans because, you know, they have to comply with it, called GEVO 5, and the new one that's being worked on called GEVO 6, minimise the emissions extremely. Interestingly, both Jibo 5 and Jibo 6 have exceptions for steam engines, so they can continue to run. But in the railway I'm on, Puffing Billy, we do foresee a time when we won't be able to get coal anymore. So one of our locomotives actually burns diesel. It was converted as a bit of an experiment. It costs us roughly twice as much to run it on diesel, so it's very important that we sell out all the trains. Currently we do. It takes almost 2 full cars of passengers just to pay for the fuel to run the loco, let alone all the other costs of running the railway. Because even though it's got a lot of volunteer people that work there, both in track and workshops and in train operations and in everything, and kiosk and all the other things that happen, there are a lot of paid people. There's nearly 100 paid people working on the railway, which is roughly 10 to 12 million a year in salaries that they have to make. Should we try and set a steam record with Scotty? I think it's time to do 100 miles an hour, don't you? Let's see if we can make it happen without running out of steam. We're going on to an upgradient now, so that might get a little bit challenging to actually make that speed, but let's see what happens. It's a good thing about the straight path through here, isn't it? Hello, Funny IRL Clips. How are you? Violet and I had this inclination of doing a stream on Puffing Billy. We'll just see how that will happen. Probably won't be a live one because of phone coverage isn't fantastic in the Dandenong Ranges. $85 miles an hour. I think the 4-camera changes too much now. I should report that. Well, we almost missed out on a gratuitous bridge shot. Good thing it's a massive bridge, because we can do this. As you do. Not quite sure we're actually going to make 80 miles an hour because we're slowing down. Oh well. And a yellow signal. Uh-oh. Now I have to slow down. Because if there's one yellow signal, there'll be another one. You should have done that in a Crocodile Dundee voice, Richie Peach, and gone, "You call that a bridge? This is a bridge." And a viaduct is still a bridge. Oh, there's another signal. Now I really have to slow down because that means the next one's red, and we're going to spad if I don't get some brakes happening in the very near future. Well, that could just be this curve, actually. Might not be the bridge at all. Might not be a signal. I'll see if I can get up close so I can actually see the signals. No, it's because we're changing tracks. As we approach the fabled Nebworth. We've got a command for Nebworth. I am Australian. Funny IRL Clips. Do you know we've actually got a command in this chat for Nebworth? Assuming Nightbot's awake. It is, look at that. Funny IRL Clips asks, can you put coins on the track? I think it's probably always been illegal, but yeah, you're not going to hurt anything. So you may as well. There's another yellow signal up there. Just don't put rocks on the track. Rocks is bad. Coins aren't going to hurt anything. Coins a train wouldn't even notice. You just squash them. They actually end up quite funny. They can end up quite long if they get squashed in the right way. They get dragged down the track as they get squashed. Oh, that yellow signal has gone green. Put some power back on then. The steam trains are a lot of fun, Violet. I hesitate to invoke the marketing folk at Puffing Billy, but we could always chat with them and see if we can get permission to get onto a locomotive for part of the trip. You'd have to get special permission from that because phones and the like simply aren't allowed in the cab. Welcome to Nebworth. The station that Matt Peddleston, the executive producer of Train Sim World 3, and yes, he does still work there, flew through one day and coined the famous term to Nebworth. Started to go downhill now, but I can't speed up because I've got a yellow signal again. The question is, Violet, you're on the other side, I'm on the other side. Which one of us lives on the dark side? It's an interesting thing because people always have this idea that the western suburbs of Melbourne are horrible and full of crime, and the people that live in the western suburbs of Melbourne think the southeast of Melbourne's horrible and full of crime. And it's just funny because I've lived all around the bay, different times of my life. I have lived in the outer east, very outer east, in the Dandenong Ranges. I have lived in the Middle East. I have lived in the inner east. I have lived in the inner west. I have lived in the middle west. I've lived in the outer west. And these days I live in the southeast. So it's, yeah, interesting. Lexic Dark says steam, the costs make it difficult. He watched a thing on the steam trains in India that the British put in, trying to keep them running. It is very expensive to keep steam trains running because they require a lot of maintenance. Hello, CCT Mitch. CCT Mitch was guard on the train that I was firing yesterday. We had a good day. Interestingly enough, even on a bad day, we always have a good day on Puffing Billy. It's just the way it is. But we genuinely did have a good day yesterday. It was fun. Although I did feel sorry for Mitch when I saw him standing by the points in our final moves when we were shunting to put all the trains away for the night because we were the last ones back. And the poor bugger's just standing there in the rain because naturally enough, you can always tell when it's time to shunt on Puffing Billy because it starts to rain. Always. Even on a 45-degree day, it'll start to rain. And there's nothing quite like having to go in between the carriages to uncouple or couple, which Mitch had to do a bit yesterday because he was coupling on a curve, which is very, very challenging. And the drains are very carefully designed on the Puffing Billy carriages so that they actually run straight down the guard's neck as they're trying to couple or uncouple the carriages. If I didn't know better, I'd say that workshops did it deliberately. You did look like a little bit of a drowned rat for a while, Mitch. Just a little bit. And it is quite interesting, the experiences at the different ends of the train. As a guard, you actually do feel all the time that you go through during the day. So if you do, as a guard, you're probably doing, what, about 8 hours on the train? In the near enough 12-hour shift on the locomotive, you don't really even have time to scratch yourself. It's all just a dull roar. Welcome to Stevenage. Get out, people. Or get in, whatever. Oh no, we've got 0.3 miles to go. It won't recognise I finished. That's okay. But on the locomotive, you really don't feel the time. It just rushes by, and you keep an eye out the window. You work out where you are. You work out what kind of fire you're going to put on for where you are. You need, because it's coal, it takes a little while to get going. So you, as an example, to climb what we call Emerald Bank, which is the steepest climb on the railway, not the longest, but the steepest. You're preparing for that one as you're leaving the station before. And it seems like you've got a long time to prepare for it, but you really don't, because as a fireman, you can't fire when the curve is on your side, because you have to watch, because the driver can't see when the curve's on their side, because if you look, even in this locomotive, you can see it. You can see how there's a little bit of visibility. When the curve's on the right in this locomotive, you're going to have to be over the other side. Oh, look at these guys. They couldn't get out. Oh, what a bummer. Anyway, I don't think we need to wait for this timer to finish because, you know, I don't really care about showing the scenario is finished. Doesn't really matter. We're all from the other side of the tracks, funny IRL clips. Everybody is. Alright, we're going to go have a look at Pegnitzalbahn now. Or as I call it, Peggy. Or Peg Schnitzel. Because, you know, Schnitzelbahn sounds funnier than Pegnitzalbahn. What are we going to run? What are we going to run? We don't want to run something too long. Wow, they're all really long, except for a couple of really short ones where we get to watch trains. Why don't we just watch the trains? There you go. We'll run this one. We'll just watch trains, and then we'll go on to the Long Island Railroad. That'll be fun. That way I can keep up with the chat. Because, face it, all you guys do is watch trains anyway. Now it's my turn to join you. One of us. One of us. Oh, thunderstorm. Get rid of the HUD. Here comes our first train. And this is the sign that says, stand at the front of the Titanic. That's not a train, that's a tram. I suppose it's kind of a train. Train's behind you, mate. No? Alright, walk off then, see if I care. How you doing, tough guy? You gonna get in the train? Better hurry up. It's not gonna stay here long. Keep going. You're nearly there. Go on. Oh no, you missed out, the doors are shut. Oh, he disappeared. Oh, there's another one. That one didn't even stop. How mean. Oh well, I should get on with the chat, I suppose. So, Mitch reckons he didn't get that wet. That's fair enough. Funny IRL clips when you say the other side, I don't understand. It's just people from the east and people from the west. It's like Melbourne and Sydney. We hate each other too. And Pugface Music is having some tea. That's good. And what else have we got? The city rivalry. Yes, definitely. You moved from track. Interestingly enough, did you know that Toorak has the highest percentage of public housing of any suburb? Mitch did 9 hours yesterday. I don't think your assessments are too far off at all, Mitch. I think you're... I echo Les, get some more runs in, build your confidence, because that's the only thing you need now is just some confidence that you're doing the right thing, because you are doing the right thing. So keep doing what you're doing. And the reason why you need to get some confidence in that you're doing the right thing, where are our trains? Come on, we're here to watch trains. There aren't any. Let's go listen to some doof. Go listen to some doof with this bloke. Here we go. I might have to turn this guy into a short. It's just kind of funny. Unz, 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 unz. He's clearly liking it, but he's bought cheap headphones because he has to hold them into his head to get good sound. So he should buy some more expensive headphones. But at least he's got wireless ones. Where are the trains, Deutschebahn? Oh, here comes one. This one's going to run us over. It'd be like the GoPro in the middle of the track shot. I better get down lower for that. I can't get down lower. Oh well, just to wait for it to run us over. Oh, it's going over there. What the? Yeah, you run over me over here. Hey, wow, it's got underside detail. Only someone doing something as dumb as this would see that underside detail, so I'm actually relatively impressed that's there. Cool bananas. What else have we got in our chat? You get egged and crumbed on the Pegnitzalbahn. Yes, I think you do. You can talk as much as you want, Violet. Mitch is about to drive a DB86 on a mixed train. The safeties blow off every 10 seconds. I'll get used to that. Lexic Dark thinks that goes on the Parmigiana. That would be an Italian train, surely. If you're on the Parmigiana Express. I had Parma and wedges for lunch yesterday. I kept it in my little tin box and heated it up on the on top of the boiler. It was good. It's one of the cool things about working in a steam engine is that they're really hot and you can cook food. What do you think of trains? You do look slightly haunted. Yep, it's definitely that time. Yep, just look everywhere. Yeah, just ignore me. Righto. Not that friendly, are you? Fair enough then. Let's go find someone else to annoy. How about you? Morning. As he goes. As he goes again. It's like Frogger. Just crossing to the other side. This bloke's on his phone. He can't quite figure it out though. He's got that expression on his face, you know, the dad look. Ah, this bloody thing. It just doesn't do what I want. Oh, nice here. It's an intercity express. It's not going very fast though. And this poor thing stuck waiting for the intercity express because it's only a Regio express. It's not as important as an intercity express. But it'll be able to go soon. As soon as the ICE clears the next block. What I was saying about yesterday, Mitch, when you got distracted by the blokes dancing. Hey, what do the German ads look like? Get some grub. There you go. Let's go watch excavators. There's no trains. We'll just watch some excavators for a while. Wait, what are you doing outside the fence, Sunshine? You're not meant to dig outside the fence. Look at him go. Off he goes, outside the fence. You notice their hole doesn't get any bigger, and their spoil pile doesn't get any bigger. Oh well. It's all fun. Through the building we go. Train. I think we should probably get back to some driving some trains. What do you reckon? I think it's time for some Long Island Railroad. Let's go and find some. And what are we going to run? Is it LIRR or Long Island? It is LIRR. Summer of Hell. Oh, that sounds good. Let's do that. A physics-defying digger indeed. The animations are kind of funny. And Violet, yes, the people on the tracks are random nutters. We encounter them a lot on railways. Good morning, engineer. Doesn't look very good. Looks kind of shit. Set up the train ready for departure from Hicksville. That says a lot. Please do not forget to allow passengers to board here. The train would normally have come from Huntington, but a tree is blocking the line between here and there due to an earlier thunderstorm. Passengers are happy being bussed from Hicksville to Huntington. Well, they're not happy. Okay, I wouldn't be happy. It's a horrible thing. Alright, let's get our doors open. And let's set this thing up. I'm trying to remember how to drive this. It's been a while. That makes sense. Can we... looks like it doesn't. Rail driver. Oh, you've got to put it in max brake and then I can change it. There we go. I'm starting to remember how to do this. I think we're in forwards now. And we have to charge the brakes on this one, don't we? Yeah, I'm not in max brake. I'm going to use the mouse to put it in max brake. Otherwise, we'll end up in emergency brake, and that will be bad. Is that working? No, it's not working. So I probably did go into emergency brake. Right, now it's in emergency brake. So if I bring it back into... Can I charge there? No. Can I charge there? No. Can I charge there? No. No, Shift Z doesn't even work on this train. Maybe I don't have to charge this one. Let's just try it. If you're running the Challenger on, what's that, grade Mitch in TSC, make sure you are running the game's automatic fireman, not the train's automatic fireman, because it'll fail at the moment. It does sound like a song, being bussed from Hicksville to Huntington. Australians wouldn't call Huntington Huntington. We'd call it something really rude, but there you go. We're like that. Do I actually have to charge the brakes? I don't know. I think I do, because the white needle hasn't gone up. Oh, well, let's just see if it works. I don't think it will. Got the buzz. Will it work? No. Alright, so we have to figure out how we're going to charge the brakes. There we are, definitely in forwards. Let's try that. No? That? Alright. Time for Google. Train Simulator Classic, how to charge the brakes on LIRR. Because I've forgotten how to do it. So you do have to put it in max brake. Okay. That's what I thought. So that's emergency brake. And we come back one thing, we should be able to charge. Clearly not. Let's come back a tiny bit more. This is annoying. There's no magic button either. Right there. No. Try there. Bring it all the way into power, and then we'll go all the way back. It should stop before it goes into emergency. No, it doesn't. But that's out of emergency, so that should charge. I'm clearly doing something else wrong. Ah! The magic button worked. The magic button that says, set up my train, I'm a noob. That worked properly. Alright, now what about windscreen wipers? Where are windscreen wipers? Must be up here somewhere. Snow brakes, door bypass, passenger bypass, emergency brake valve. Oh, it's headlights. We should probably put headlights on, shouldn't we? That makes some sense. And gauge lights. And windshield heater? No. Where's windscreen wipers? Oh, there they are. Yay! Noob alert. Off we go. Maybe. Well, brakes are off. Aren't we moving? We're not moving though. Why don't we move? Am I not in forward anymore? Have I gone into neutral maybe? Oh, there we go. We're all good now. Let us leave Hicksville. Better put the HUD back on so I know where we're going. There we go. I figured it out. Shut up. Ah, did I go too fast? I went too fast. Now I'm going to have to charge the brakes again. Oh no. No, I don't. I got away with it. It's okay. It's working! Could be an REM song. You could do that, Violet. That would work. All jokes about Hicksville are welcome. And I better not go too fast again or it's going to punish me again. And when it punishes me, it punishes all of us. Lord Tacitus, max brake before charging. Yeah, I was trying to do that. I kind of think I had it in the right place, but it didn't work, so I just used the magic button. Magic button worked fine. Can we go faster yet? We can go faster now. And NJTE says, well, well, well. That's a very deep hole, NJTE. Well, well, well. And you're going to grab some coffee, Violet. That's good. I have my tea. Which is not in my usual insulated mug, so it's getting cold. My usual insulated mug came out in the train with me yesterday, so it's in the dishwasher because it's covered in oil and soot. Thank you, Richard. Lexic Dark says maybe some Alice Cooper for the song. Could work. Could work. I wonder if you can make music out of nothing but train horns. You up for a challenge, Violet? Maybe I should send you a whole lot of recordings of different train horns and see if you can make a song out of them. Hope you are well, Lord Tacitus. NJT says the LIRR is the busiest railroad in North America. Metro's obviously not here anymore. So we make our way towards Westbury, which I guess I should start slowing down for. NJT says on the right you can see the space now filled in by a third track. That would have been a fair bit of engineering to get rid of all the poles. After we stop, I want to go back and look at that sign. It looked quite creepy. How was it? Oh, look at that. Perfect. Where's our sign? It's up here somewhere. The finale of what? The finale of bald men gathering in a field? The finale of clouds? I don't know. Drink the Big Apple. Oh, it's time to go, is it? Alright then. Where's my buzzer? No buzzer. Alright, we'll just go. Alright, train horn sounds will be coming your way, Violet. I'll work out a way to share them with you. I shall record various ones from various trains and send them over. Max Power doesn't seem to be trying very hard, so maybe we're slipping. And Violet has been playing with some sounds this week recorded on a bus. I've got one of these magic little things called a Tascam. Really good for recording sounds, especially with its nice furry muff. Everybody needs a good furry muff in their life. Cuts down on the wind noise. Because the last thing you want is a lot of wind blowing through your furry muff. And JTE is continuing to tell us all sorts of interesting things about the LIRR, such as the project to add a third track between Hicksville and Floral Park, which has allowed them to increase the trains. Hey, the German guy is here. What's going on? NJT says reckons the acceleration of the M7 is quick. Do you know, Violet, the phrase avoid the random nutters is pretty good for any train anywhere in the world. The only place I've seen more random nutters than anywhere else is New York. They seem to have a rather large over-quotient of random nutters on the trains. In New York, the random nutters are for the most part relatively harmless and amusing. If you're ever travelling on BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit System, around the San Francisco Bay Area, and you see a random nutter start to get people's attention on the train, sit on your stuff, because someone is about to steal something. Because they're always distracting everybody from the person or persons that are about to grab and run. So many times I've seen that. More power as we come into Mineola, which I'm sure is a blues song. CCT Mitch, Smokebox will not need to develop a fix for the Challenger and the 844 and all of his other stuff, because a fix is coming from Dovetail. I believe it's in the final stages of QA, so we probably shouldn't have to wait too long for it to come out. Hello, Hentus. How are you? We always come up with our own terms, Violet. It's an Aussie thing. We rename stuff. Things like Clayton becoming Craytown. And Huntingdale becoming... no, that's a bit rude for this stream. Oops. I think I've got a station coming, don't I? You've got to watch how hard you brake on this thing or you'll end up in the poo. The other track's coming in over there. Blowing my horn in a non-American way to annoy Metro, who's not even here. He will be annoyed when he watches it back later and he'll go, oh, I didn't blow Rule 14L. I'm mad at him now. And then he'll be mad at me in Discord, I'm sure of it. It would be cool if the route was updated to cover the new things. A one-way ticket to hell and back, you reckon, Lexic Dark? Could work. Could play that as a backing track. I could see you doing some thrash metal, Violet. I really could. Doors opening. Maybe. There they go. Wow. They didn't. Well. How about that? You're looking at Peak Hentus. Excellent. What do you think? Honest opinion. Hentus is a fellow Dovetail ambassador, so he, like me, has got access to Peak. Peak Forest, new route coming out on Tuesday. Violet says she lives in Scumberry, according to others. Scumberry works. I kind of like Scumberry. My favourite over in that area of the universe, there is, of course, Gisborne, and at some point, some people in the town got really angry and formed New Gisborne. Which to me is just really funny, because there's not much different between Gisborne and New Gisborne. And I once lived in Melton, and that used to get called Meltdown. Good bit of Akadaka. Why not? NJT says technically they won't blow their horns anymore since all the crossings were removed off the main line between Hicksville and Floral Park. Ah, so they've had a level crossing removal program like we've been going through and are still going through. Part of Dan's let's pretend the Victorian economy is good and build stuff because that makes it good. It works till the government money runs out and then it stops being good. But it's good at the moment. Don't the LIRR trains blow their horn on the way into a platform? Hentus? Sorry, not Hentus. In JT? I thought they did. Or are they like New York subway trains and they just expect you to understand there's a train there and not get hit by it? Overshoot! we overshot that once. I'm not going outside. I lied. We'll go look. Go look from this side, though. I wonder what that means. Dim. Tickets, please. Tickets. Tickets, please. Tickets. I think that's a technique that I've normally heard females talk about for going to a public toilet, like a nightclub or out in the street somewhere. It's called the hover, where they use the intense core strength to not actually sit down. What am I doing in neutral? Scumshine. Ah, Scumshine's a good one. Yes, Footerscray and North Melbourne and Brunswick. Franco Cozzo, importer of cocaine in furniture. You always wondered how I made money. Well, that's how. Franco Cozzo. Actually, it wasn't him, it was his son, I think. From memory. Franco Cozzo's shops are actually still there, but they look quite miserable these days. I don't think I've ever actually seen the one in Footscray open, which we go past on the way to the in-laws fairly regularly. And I have even been there during the week, and I don't actually think I've ever seen the doors open and the lights on, but apparently they're still in business. New Hyde Park, next door to Hyde Park. If you are leaving our service here, thank you for riding the Long Island Railroad. Well, we don't really care about you at all. Take your crap and get off my train. Pick up your rubbish and put it in the bins on the platform. Don't leave it on the train. You don't like sitting on someone else's coffee cup and their half-eaten croissants, so don't do it to anybody else. Actually, it's New York, it'd be a bagel. NJT says he likes Melbourne's way of grade crossing removal, under or over. Indeed, we make roller coasters. It doesn't really matter for the electric trains. It doesn't really make much difference for them. But for the large freight trains, a friend of mine drives for QBE, and he drives one of the steel trains. And for him, it's a nightmare trying to keep the train taut as they go over all the crossings. Because some of them are under and some of them are over, and then they go through another under and then another over. And it's a nightmare. And Violet agrees, never sit on the seat indeed. It's not something that boys tend to worry about, but we're slightly less vulnerable to infections. So it's probably why. It's probably a well-developed skill. NJT says DEDM is the stopping point for loco hold services. From the diseasels, as distinct from the third rail. Violet agrees, yeah, it was the sun in the legs of furniture. And it was pretty funny. Lord Tassus says half the time the folks are asleep on the LIRR. Yeah, those ones seem to be. There's a lot of them, isn't there? Almost at the speed where it's going to yell at me again. Better do something about that. Are we supposed to stop here? No? Good. So this is the A track. But there's Oh, there's a B track. Oh, there's an A track and a C track. That's interesting. There's no B track. Strange. We appear to have gone express. On this beautiful sunny day in New York. Yeah, the rain's not bad on the windows here. Interestingly enough, between the two simulators, what we're driving today is the old school simulator from Dovetail Games. And in their modern simulator, which is Train Sim World, there's only one piece of code that survived from the old one to the new one. It's the rain on the windows. It's the only thing they kept. Powering through the junction. I was amused yesterday that for the first time on a steam engine I actually managed to cook my leg. A lovely blister. Nothing some Bepanthen won't fix though. Oh, there are so many rain songs, Violet. Anybody getting deja vu feelings here? This is just silly. We're going all the way to Jamaica. Did you make my sandwich? No train for you guys. Sorry. Not happening. None for you. No. Nothing. Nothing. No. It's your own fault for being at Hollis. I better start slowing down for Jamaica. Jamaica's kind of a cool station. It's the intersection of a couple of lines, quite a few lines, and it's also where you get the airport train, which is an automated train. And if you ever do fly into New York, don't pay for the hideously overpriced taxi fare. Just grab the airport train to Jamaica and you can jump on either the LIRR or you can jump onto the New York MTA subway. Either is fine. Make your way into the city. What's that signal at stop? Is it for my track? I'm not sure if it's for my track. I think it's on the one next to me. Oh, we'll find out in a minute. If it is mine, we won't get much further. Nah, not mine. All good. Is it making sense, you reckon? Your train is purple. Ah, you're riding one of those things. The things that replaced the sprinters that they first come out, everybody started calling them the purple dildos. Because it's kind of what they look like. They're not a bad train though, they're fairly comfortable, aren't they? Enter says 1 in 90 gradient, 14 mile an hour at full power in the 8F. Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. The old Pennsylvania Railroad signals up there, excuse me. Stop yelling at me, train. You're not a McDonald's fry machine. Then we go on the slow plod into Jamaica. Train will probably yell at me again in a moment. See? And again. Wait. Why are you stopping me? I wasn't speeding. Bad train. Thank you, Violet. I think I'm funny. After 36 years, my other half doesn't. Mind you, she didn't really think I was that funny 36 years ago either. So I guess it's just the same, isn't it? And JT says, are you ever at Macca's and you just hear beep after beep after beep? Oh yes, sometimes. The 14-year-olds working at Macca's have this innate ability to simply ignore all the sounds. In the most modern stores, all machines are all automated anyway. They don't beep anymore, so when the fries are finished cooking, the fry lifter just lifts up and jiggles them a bit. You could add that to a song, why not? Violet says her cat is never amused. Well, we've seen your cat. Have I got any cats around me at the moment? No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, there's one over there. One sitting watching us. I used to have a cat cam set up, but the cat stopped sitting on the thing that the cat cam was set up above. So I stopped turning it on. I think we're at 10. Welcome to Jamaica, Mon. This is where the steel drums start playing. Have they got red lights on? Ah, my marker lights on. There we go. Cats usually ignore anything sensible. NJT says they found two 10-year-olds working at 2 AM at Macca's. Yes, I imagine that happens here as well. Engineer train 1631, formal voice. This is Penn Station and Harold Interlocking Tower calling. Hi, Harold. We have experienced a major switch failure at Penn Station and require you to divert to Hunters Point. We know what that would be called. Where you will terminate. Dun 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 dun. Alright then. We're going to the boring track. We're not going to the city. Now, being a true train driver though, right, we know what we have to do. We know what's very important. Okay, the doors are shut. And we start moving. And after we start moving and the passengers can't get out, you announce, ladies and gentlemen, Long Island Railroad is very sorry to announce that we won't be going into the city and that we're diverting to Hunters Point. From Hunters Point, you will be able to see New York, but you won't actually be able to get there. Sorry. I could have said that 2 minutes ago to give you a chance to change onto a different train, but I didn't. Because that's how trains do things. Quiet train. Do, 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 do. Signals on LIRR are so confusing. There's so many different varieties of them. It's going to yell at me again in a moment. Oh, am I going uphill? Why is the train speeding up when I'm coasting? Oh, that would be really mean, Violet, taking them to Jersey. Ooh. One of my trips to New York, I actually stayed in New Jersey because it was heaps cheaper. My hotel in New Jersey, for the entire 14 nights that I was there, was the same price as one night in New York. It's kind of cool. And the next trip, Airbnb had become a thing, and I just lived in someone's basement in Brooklyn. Prospect Heights, to be precise. Very nice area. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look out the front windows of the train, you will start to see some of New York. But we're not going there, sorry. Well, I suppose we kind of are. We're still in New York City, just not the useful bit, not where you're expecting to go. Please note, I'm going to lock myself in my driving cabin so you can't get to me. Off to our right, you will see the scenic views of the projects. For the Australian viewers, the projects are very similar to our Housing Commission constructions, with the same kinds of issues that the Housing Commission tend to get. Ooh, we're allowed to go fast to the point that no one wants to go to. Let's do that. Ladies and gentlemen, after telling you that we're going to Hunters Point, if we were nice, we would have routed you through the platform here so you could change trains. But we're not, so we won't. And you can't. Sorry. Oh, here's an apartment building you'd love to live in with trains rumbling underneath all the time. That'd be just awesome, that would. Actually, you know what? I think someone's trained sense of humour might have been at play with this building. Let's just come out here. Because don't these windows kind of look like the front of a train? Or a tram, anyway. Gaming humour. They may well smell of pee. At least the lifts. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another station that you could have gotten off at and changed to another train that is going into the city, but unfortunately for you, we didn't stop here. Lexic Dark says that's the concept of the Linear City project. Yes, over the top of the train lines. You'd have to build the rail. Either the rails or the buildings would have to be built on shock-absorbing blocks, so you didn't get the vibrations. Anarchist Angel, hello. And you're staying up too late again. I think I saw your comment on one of the Peak Forest videos. And how do you know when a game's in New York? Water towers. Oh look. There's a city you can't have. There's New Jersey over there. There's a bit of New York down there. It disappears when you look at it though. Ooh. NJT, indeed. It could change to the 7 line. Ladies and gentlemen, as our friend NJT points out, you can in fact change to the 7 line in New York, which unfortunately today has been replaced by a bus service. Please enjoy your buses through the peak city traffic into New York Central. Sorry. It's not your day, really, is it? You know when you woke up this morning and you thought, I should have stayed in bed? Well, you should have stayed in bed. Because by the time you actually get to work, it's going to be time to go home and go to bed. What a bummer. Anarchist Angel asked about the API implementation and documentation. And I won't believe how excited you are that they're working on it, making progress. I believe you. I can't give you any details, but I actually have used Python to interact with it. Let's just say it's a not a non-complex thing. It will be very, very good for the third-party controller market, I expect. So expect people like Thrustmaster to create train controls. Wouldn't surprise me very much, because the game is getting very popular and Thrustmaster like multi-platform stuff, so it should be good. Here we go through another large station where people could change trains if only we're on the other track. Hey, you see these things here? I found out what they're for. In an emergency, they park one train here and they stop the other trains on this other line, and the doors are next to these things, and they step onto this and into the other train and then onto the platform. It's one of those things that's just so silly, it's cool. Violet will be right back. NJT says inaccurate. The water tower isn't made of wood. A lot of them are. Most of them aren't used anymore either. NJT says actually the bus replacements only go to the last station in Queens Vernon Boulevard, just west of Hunters Point. You have to take the shuttle bus to Queensborough Plaza and change to the N or the W subway. And Anarchist screams. Hey look, there's the skyline of the city that you can't go to, passengers. Look over there. Look at that. It's all there. We're not going there. No, we're not. We're going somewhere else. As we cruise along in the darkness. Thrustmaster are a bit expensive, Hentus, but I do prefer them over Logitech, because Thrustmaster devices like Pi Engineering's Rail Driver, a device from 20 years ago will still work. If there's nothing mechanically wrong with it, it will still work and you'll still be able to use it in your games. Logitech, on the other hand, after about 3 years go, well, you know that steering wheel, it's perfectly good electrically. Well, it's now e-waste because, well, you need to buy this version because the driver detects that you haven't got the version that we're currently selling, so it's not going to work. And I find that to be incredibly irresponsible of that company. So I will pay the higher price for a Thrustmaster piece of gear anytime because I know it will still work tomorrow. Whereas the Logitech stuff, they'll feel like turning it off at some point and you won't be able to use it anymore. And the one thing that does absolutely amaze me, given that how many modders and things we have, is that no one seems to have written drivers for things like the Thrustmaster, not the Thrustmaster, the Logitech G series of stuff, to keep it alive. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the rail replacement bus that you just missed going over the bridge in front of us. Sorry. It's always a way. The rail replacement bus leaves just as soon as the train comes in. There's nothing wrong with building your own hardware. One of the people who helps out in the beta, her name is Daisy, and Daisy has built what is basically an entire cab from spare parts that she's purloined from various places, buying here and there. Ah, the flickering roof. I'd forgotten about the flickering roof. NJT says, what's with all the American routes I own and TSW3 needing an update? There was a core patch on Thursday. Rain, why are you enforcing a 10 speed limit that I'm not in yet? Bad train. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now arriving at Hunter's Point that I'm crawling into ridiculously slowly because the train won't let me go any faster. It's basically designed to annoy you even more than diverting to a place that you didn't want to go to. It is the Windows drivers for Logitech Lexic Dark, but they do it deliberately. Patch release that came out on Thursday, there are patch notes for it, but most of the changes are around the core Steam functionality, and it's a pre-patch for Peak. It's a very long platform, and we're going very slowly. Annika says, I want to do the same as Daisy. I don't have Source's original parts and enough money to buy things off eBay. I think a lot of it she's been getting off things like Facebook Marketplace and stuff. And she's got a friend that helps her hook it up electrically and make it work so that it can be programmed. So it's kind of cool. I do know another person that built an SD40. So he basically built the cab of an SD40 in his house, clearly single, because only single people can do that. People with partners tend to frown on building train cabs in your lounge room. And I know another person who has yet to actually do anything with it, but he bought the entire front end of a retired diesel locomotive. So he's got the entire control cab. And his grand plan is to build a simulator in it and put monitors in the windows. Where are we going after this? Are we going anywhere? Yeah, we're going to go down to Long Island City and park up. Okay. PSCC Tower, engineer of train 1631. Please stable your train in Long Island City, track 9, and await further instructions. You know what, this is going to be really slow because it's a long way away and it's at 5 miles an hour, so we're not going to do it. Where are we up to now? Huddersfield. Huddersfield. Here's one of the cool things. This is probably the coolest thing that they fixed when they changed Train Sim Classic. You don't have to clear the text before you type more text to be able to play. So this is driving, it's the 158, but I think isn't there some diesel services on this as well? Look at me hacking at scenarios. So that's the Pacer, which is basically a bus. And a class 47. Yeah, let's do a 47. What's this one doing? It's non-stop. It's boring. 158. Pacer. Alright, we'll do a pacer. What was this one? On a wet autumnal day. Nah, we'll do the pacer. Here we go. Let's drive a bus. Heresy, you reckon? Driving the bus. Good morning, driver. Today you'll be operating a pair of Class 142s buses from Huddersfield to Manchester, Victoria. More information is available in your briefing. Alright, how do we make this one work? Sounds like it's running, so let's get the doors open. I'll turn that on so it's at least bright. Let's turn on the destination sign, the instrument lights. That doesn't do anything. No, it does. Wiper switch. Headlights. Could press that button, that could be funny. Does the GSMR work? No. Train protection warning system. Can't turn that on and off. Well, that's just a wiper. What else can I do in this train? Open the windows? Ooh. Open the windows. This is advanced for Train Simulator Classic. Oh, what's down there? Oh, we want that. It doesn't move though. Okay. We have the train protection warning system. We have a master key. Can't do anything with it though. See, it is basically a bus. It's a Leyland Leopard on railway wheels. The Class 142. Anarchist Angel wants paces in Train Sim World 3. And TSW would be better at conveying the jankiness of them. Probably. There's a train that's not that far off the pacer in Train Sim World 3. It's the 150. And on what's the one that came out recently? Midland Main Line. There's the 158s. It's pretty close to a pacer as well. Good thing I put the cab light on, you'd have nothing to look at. Because we're in a tunnel. Does that make me a VIP? I don't know, Lexic Dark. Aren't we all VIPs? Ooh, an unlabeled DRA. If I turn that on, we'll just stop. Why is it bouncing? Oh, we're allowed to go faster. Let's give it all the power it's got, which is almost none. Hentis Rail also wants a 141 or 142 or 143 in Train Sim World 2. Train Sim World 3, rather. And Anarchist Angel likes the 150 on West Coast Local. The 150 is quite interesting. There's people who quite like it, and there's people who hate it and say that it's nothing like the real one, and there's people who love it and go, it's exactly like the real one, which is quite interesting to me. I'm not quite sure why there's the polarizing divide between the two camps. Because how could it be so accurate to one group and so inaccurate to the other group? It's just weird, unless there's multiple versions of it. That's possible, I suppose. Listen to that power. With a road crossing that's not really a road crossing. Going past the church. Rocks that are... Did I see what I think I saw back here? Yes, I did. Look at that. Rocks that aren't actually attached to the rock wall. Oh well. Yeah, that's the way I play the game, Anarchist Angel. If it sounds good enough that it conveys the feeling of being in and driving a train, then that's good enough for me. I don't care if it's not exactly the same, it just needs to sound nice. And oddly enough, when I'm streaming, I almost can't actually hear the trains. I have them turned right down, because if I don't, I'll end up yelling at you. And that would be kind of sucky. Gratuitous bridge shot. Call that a bridge? That's a viaduct, sunshine. There we go. Let's do paces on the internet. Benjamin's brain in a jar. Hello. I'm glad you like the streams. Welcome along. It's kind of a cool channel name, Benjamin's Brain in a Jar. Anarchist Angel says, I can almost smell that pacer, which would be a strange combination of diesel fumes and urine, probably. Lexic Dark says those rocks don't roll. No, I'm tipping not. We climb one of the few lines in England that actually has a gradient on it. It's quite interesting. The one of the things that when you're getting taught firing a steam locomotive, is they get you to watch the LMS film Little and Often, where the fireman literally every 2 minutes puts 2 or 3 shovels of coal onto the different layers in the firebox: rear, middle, and front. This works on a flat railway. Works fine. Works a treat. And most of the LMS railways, flat. But when you get into a very hilly railway like the one I operate on, no, if you follow that method, you're pretty much screwed. You will not get up the hill. You have to supplement it with a dirty great big bank that's got to be burning and hot, really hot, before you get to the hill. Then you can do Little and Often after that. They don't tell you that in the film. One of the things relatively amusing when I look at... Oh, the sky's weird, isn't it? One of the things that's relatively amusing when I look at the... Oops, I was supposed to be stopping. Oh no! No, no! More brakes! Full brakes! All the brakes! Chuck out the anchors! We're going to Nebworth this. Oh, if we're going to get a door in the platform or not. It's feeling close, but I think it's going to be a close no. Oh, look at that. So close. So close. But we missed. Nebworthed it. Clearly this is a very popular spot because no one's getting in or out. Oh, no, take that back. One person got in. 2. Oh, look at that. They're coming along now. Yes, there often are differences between theory and practice. Alright, away we go. Too late, dude, you missed it. I'm one of those drivers. I see you coming up, you're almost at the door, I shut the doors and leave. This is true, Hunters. It is required to have at least a Nebworth or a Spad on a stream. And there is nothing quite like that moment when you realise you're about to have a Spad and everybody is looking at you. Kind of funny yesterday, because on the train yesterday, the previous crew had reported to us that the area of track and the points down from Lakeside Station were very, very, very slippery. So I thought, I'll get Mitch to pull off the signals, so if we do slip, at least the crossing starts, and we won't have a Spad. But then the really old guy turns up and goes, no, drop that back, just don't slip, do it properly. Okay. And there you see the difference between modern safety thinking and old safety thinking. Modern safety thinking, you see a risk, you mitigate the risk. In old safety thinking, you just don't do the thing that would have caused the risk. We cruise through the English countryside on our double carriage bus in 2 different liveries, no less. Bit of a bonus. On our way to Marsden. Oh wait. At the next station, we have to fix the lights in the back. Oh, you can't. It's Train Sim Classic. Hang on. Yes, you can. Right. Oh, I can't interact with the switch, so I can't actually turn the headlights off. Oh well. That's life, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching Marsden, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Hentus, good night. Sleep well. And Anarchist Angel says, that's why we used to have many more accidents than we do nowadays. I would actually argue that it's the opposite in railways. I don't know if, actually, no, I'll take that back. I don't know that there's more accidents today, but they're worse. Because we have this insistence on running ridiculously long trains, particularly in America, carrying all these interesting hazardous things. Sending that stuff by train is a good thing to do, because it is safer than roads still. It's less likely to have an accident, but I do have this gut feeling that the length of the trains actually contributes to the frequency of derailments. Because the physics involved in a train that's going through corners when it's 4 or 5 kilometres long, all for the sake of not having a few crews, which means it's corporate greed, essentially. You'd probably be much safer running more trains that were shorter. Marsden, next stop. Well, it's going to make me go all the way to the end of the platform, isn't it? Anarchist Angel thinks they're worse because speeds and capacities like increase too. The US special case with basically zero regulations. Oops, I'm rolling backwards. That's not good. Let's stop. And get the doors open. No, I don't know about zero regulations. I think they are heavily regulated, but whether the... no, my back's not in. I think they are heavily regulated, but they are mostly self-enforced. Tickets, please. Tickets. Tickets, please. Tickets. Tickets. It really does look like a bus, doesn't it? Time to go. Uh-oh. Just as Hunter says. Oh, you know why? Because the reverser went to neutral at some point, and I rolled backwards. Bugger. Well, what are we going to do now, then? We've run out of routes to play. What else have we got? What else could we have a look at today? It's a bit early to finish. It's Arizona Divide, really long and boring American Freight. Bernina Line. Bernina's kind of fun. Birmingham Cross City, 323. Boston and Albany, we did that to death a couple of weeks ago. Chatham Main Line. Clear Creek, we haven't been on Clear Creek for a while. Clinchfield. We did Chorus last week, rolling down the hill. Donna Pass, Pegnitzalbahn, East Coast Main Line. Falmouth. Falmouth is always fun. Hamburg to Hanover. It's two of them. Hidaka. We're going to drive a bong train. Huddersfield, which is where we just were. Inselbahn, London to Brighton. What do people want? Mariah's Pass. Midland, New Zealand. Mittenwaldbahn. Mount Shasta. New York, New Haven, which could have joined up with the other one but didn't. Norfolk Southern. North Wales Coastline. Transport for Wales. Northeast Corridor. Pegnitzalbahn. Peninsula Corridor. Oh, we haven't done Peninsula Corridor for donkeys. Why don't we get one going into San Francisco? Is there one? It's this one. Time to pick up. That's going to San Jose. Morning Bullet. North to San Francisco with 4 stops. Yeah, 4 stops sounds alright. Let's run this one. And that'll be it for today. Anarchist Angel thinks, oh no, all the container shipping comes on the west coast, most population lives on the east coast. What's the worst that could happen? I don't think it's containers that are mostly the issue, interestingly. Load your passengers here at San Jose in anticipation of a 5:45 on-time departure. That never happens. Oh god, we're in a cab car. Forgot about that. The baby bullets only going the other way. Has anybody detected that I don't like cab cars? Because it's true. Alright, let's get set up for the run. Let's do this. Oh, come on. No. 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 Oh, you're reading the rail driver, aren't you? Yeah, of course you are. Alright. They're all on. We have brakes. We should probably put the brakes on. That might be a good idea. Otherwise we're going to roll away. And reverser into forwards. Power can stay where it is for the moment, which is full power, so we probably want to go back into... No, we're running dynamic brake. I want to go into idle. Where's idle? There's idle. Okay, good. First stop is Mountain View, where all of the months live. we need a bit of wiper as well, just to clear away the goop. Now, what are we looking at? We're looking at a cow train. Cow train. Alrighty. Brakes off, power on. Let's go, cow train. NJT wanted some NJ Transit, and Nick Angel wanted something German. Sorry to disappoint you both. I wasn't actually looking at the chat while I was going through the list. I probably should have. But that does happen 20 seconds after I go through. Look at that, 5:45 on time. Ooh. We're not allowed to go very fast out of here because it's an American railroad. They don't do speed. They're not allowed to do speed. And there goes a baby bullet. How do you make a baby bullet? You take an ugly F40 and you put a round fiberglass nose on it. And call it a different train. Hello, Jonah Cantro. How are you? And Anarchist Angel says a BR648 would be fun. It's the class that you'll be driving. That's cool. Let's take this to Mountain View and then I'll have a look and see if we've got a 648. I'm not actually sure if I do. But we can have a look. In the wilds of downtown San Jose. There is no more wild town than San Jose, where everything shuts at about 6:30 PM apart from a couple of restaurants. There's 0 nightclubs. There's not even a proper chemist. The train's sitting in the yard all with their lights on full beam. And Anarchist Angel thinks the 648 would show up with Sniddy. Alright, we'll have a look. We'll take this to Mountain View. On brakes, release. Thank you. The silence of the cab car. In the cab car, no one can hear you scream. We're allowed to go faster again, yay! Look at all the clouds of smog in the air. Smug's like smog, but it's in California. That'd been mean, wasn't it? Jonah Cantro has been waiting for the improvements to Trenton before buying it. Well, I believe they've announced some of the improvements that are coming to the timetable, so I know a lot of work was done on the signalling, which is already out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching Santa Clara. We're not stopping. Sorry. That's another yellow signal, isn't it? Up there I see... No, that's the other track. It's alright. It's not for me. It's all good. At least it better not be, or we're about to go SPAD. Which stands for Signal Past Danger. Bit of freight over there. And someone wasn't watching his HUD. Now going to be forced to stop. It wasn't very busy, Jonah, but I think they included all of the trains that were right for the stock. So now they're using the stock they've got to run different trains that would not normally use that stock. True passenger driver, notch 8 from a standing start. Sorry to confuse you, Santa Claricians, but we are not picking you up. This thing must have a very quiet alerter. Rolling along. Hello, Cat. Thank you for gifting another membership. Matt Bug, congratulations on getting a membership. Jonah suggests they should add the ALP 45 with the Comet 5 cars. Well, you never know what'll come, I suppose. What you should probably do, Jonah, is jump on the Dovetail forums. There's a suggestions part of the forum. Jump in there and write a story about why the ALP 45 and the Comet 5 cars would be good. Now, this is the game's rendition of an Australian gum tree, because they're everywhere in California. Off we go to Mountain View. Just occurred to me that Cat must be on a break, because working this morning. The train reflects and the bridge doesn't. That's kind of funny. I believe reflections in Train Sim Classic are actually programmatic, since someone has to write code to make the reflection happen. 5 miles to Mountain View, now coming through Lawrence. Which you would think was home for the Lawrence Livermore Abs, but it's not. They're somewhere else. We've attained our maximum velocity of 79 miles an hour. The only reason Caltrain trains are limited to 79 miles an hour is because they didn't want to put in positive train control, or PTC. So the FRA limited their speed to 79 as a retribution. But I believe with the new electric trains they do actually have PTC, so it'll be interesting to see if they lift the limit for the electric trains and they go faster. Because the track's certainly capable of it. That would be a cool update to the DLC in either Train Sim Classic or Train Sim World. We'd update that route to electric. That would be quite fun, I think. Lonely little tank car sitting out there on the left. Now approaching Sunnyvale, home of Fry's Electronics. It's like J-Car on steroids. I can remember queuing up at a Fry's in the year 2000 for one of the first AMD processors and boards. Isn't that sad? There's another bullet going the other way. This railway is one of those funny ones that shouldn't really exist, because it carries people who live in San Jose to work in San Francisco, and it carries people in San Francisco to work in San Jose. So if they just swapped jobs, they wouldn't have to travel anymore. It'd be great. Started slowing down for Mountain View before we go over and have a look at a BR648. How did I end up in emergency by using dynamic brakes? What are we doing, train? What are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching Mountain View. This will be our last stop on this service due to moving to Germany. Well, yes, anarchist angel, I suppose if your job is being the train driver. But it would take them at least 20 years to figure out that that had happened, and they'd keep running trains in the meantime that were empty. And then a whole new generation of people would start doing it. It's a bridge with minimal support. Mountain View. Kinda like Mountain Dew, but not fluorescent yellow. Missed it. Power up train, we want to get to the end. Because we're not in the platform yet. My star. Alright, all the important bits are. We'll stop there. Doors are open. Let me see if I can catch something without it killing me. I'll be right back. Well, fortunately I'm not dead. This is Evie. Evie's a bit sad because she's been whacked by another cat. Alright, 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 you go. Well, that was destructive. Conductor says clear, next stop Palo Alto. Oh, I beg to differ, Mr. Conductor. Next stop's Germany. Or is it Austria? I can't remember where Peggy is. Alright, so if we go into Quick Drive and we search for the BR648, is there a Quick Drive for it? No, of course not. Alright. Let's go into this way. 648. There's two of them. There's one in Pegnitzalbahn. And what's the other one? I'm curious now. Let's get rid of Pegnitzalbahn. What's the other 648? Go away. No route attached. That's interesting. Go away. Go away. Yeah, let's go out of the menu. Come back in again. Come on. Why you won't let me in? Why are you being bad? It's being annoying now. Alright. Let's try it this way. Let's clear this search. Let's clear this search. Alright. Now let's start it again. Take this one and we'll do the one on Snitty. Of course we'll do the hard one. If I can remember how to drive it. Violet says she's awesome. Catfights are brutal. Yes, they are. Evie also doesn't like being picked up, so that doesn't help. Let's get the doors open. Headlights. So we've got headlights on now. Yeah. We have headlights. Get that into neutral. Get the reverser into forwards, I hope. Sounds like it wants to run away, doesn't it? Turn on my screens. Reverser is in forwards. Dare I turn on safety systems? What else can I turn on this one? Well, it's finally started to figure out that I actually don't want to go driving away right now. Sifa. Alright, let's be brave. In theory, PZB and Sifa are now on, but I didn't see them actually come up, so I don't know. No, they don't tell me whether they come up or not. Clown horn. It's no good that Max has a fat lip. Lextic Dark says Bavaria. Yeah, so Germany. And the other end to Cheb in the Czech Republic. When the RB30 going to Newhouse. Got to look inside. Tickets, tickets please, tickets, 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 tickets. The serial killer's on board. Watch out everybody. Tickets. Ticket. It's him again. Do you know, every time I see this guy, I just think he's even more creepy. He's just creepy. Very creepy. Tickets, please. Tickets, 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 please. Tickets, tickets. This train has too many levels. Back in here with me. That's the back of my head. There you go. That must be me. Let's see if I do anything when I drive. So much time to close the doors. Doors closed. Brakes off. I hope. Yes, the brakes are off. Oh, it's going to work. I don't think I've successfully turned on PZB and Sifa though. We'll know in a minute. If it makes me acknowledge, then I'm running PZB. If it doesn't, then I'm not. No, I'm not running PZB. So Control Enter and Shift Enter didn't turn it on, so how do I do it in this train? Or maybe it doesn't support PZB. What are these? No. Well, they've got the keys to do it. Oh, maybe it's the numpad one. There we go. PZB is locked while train is moving. Okay, stop. Some of them use the main keyboard enter and some use the numpad one. PZB on, passenger mode 0, or O. Annoying yappy dog enabled. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your driver. Welcome aboard. Next stop, Nürnberg Ost. And we are running with safety systems on, so please expect some disruptions. And we're currently in monitoring. It's cool that you are driving Anarchist Angel. Sifa. There's a nose here that's really annoying me. Really annoying me. I think I'll rip it out later. Whoop, we are still in... Whoa, that was lucky. We just came out of monitoring. Just as we came out of monitoring, I got whacked for doing more than 45. Ah, sigh. Now we're back in monitoring. And off we go again. Please. Come on, power it up. Oh, you've gone into neutral. That's one of those implementations. Alright, off we go. Ost is east. Okay. Lexic Dark says they use the random nutter generator algorithm, which are not truly random, but that's another story. They're not random at all. All the characters are actually placed in this game. More power. We have 648s in Train Sim World too. Oh, now we're getting some decent grunt. And I better stop accelerating or PZB will whack me. PZB's main hobby in life is whacking me. Sifa. I can't leave the cab much when I'm running PZB and Sifa because I actually have to pay attention. Oh, it's the 620 in TSW, isn't it? Sifa, otherwise known as the little dog. You awake, boss? Let me know you're awake. Comes another one. Strange clicking noises it makes. 612. Hey, I might have got it eventually. Probably not. Slowing down for Nürnberg Ost. Passengers, next stop is Nürnberg Ost. If you are leaving us today, please get together your belongings and get off my train. I don't have to announce for service animals because this is Germany. And you're only likely to have a too dumb to graduate monkey in America. That'll do. Lexic Dark is the opposite for Are We There Yet? We're always there. Tuesday night, so 7 PM Australian Standard Time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, we'll be showing off Peak Forest. We are getting a bit that way, Violet. Of course, Germans don't honk their train horns, so I shouldn't. Lexic Dark was Melbourne, but he escaped. He's a little more east. In the Green Hills. Out amongst the sheep. He is, in fact, a sheep farmer, amongst other things. Anarchist Angel says if German trains would do that, there'd be a million Bergen Initiativlin NIMBY advocates trying to tear down the railways. I'm going to Tassie in June. Going to Dark Mofo. Because I can. Are we supposed to stop here? Uh-oh. Yes, we are. All the brakes. Some would say, don't. Task failed. Remember, you can always have an academy. You'll find useful tips on driving and stopping. So, not only did I fail to stop there, the game actually told me off. That's okay, because now Sifa's stopping me. Should be able to drive again, though. I appear to have released the Sifa hounds. So we're just going to forget all about that thing and go to Bringersdorf. Yeah, Dark Mofo's run by Mona in Hobart. Ah, proper speed, 140. That's like the delivery address for every farm, Violet. It's the one at the top of the road with the pines on the edges at the top of the hill and near the big block. That's how you send stuff to Australian farms. Don't forget that Anarchist Angel, the real reason that Germans don't honk their horns is because German people are smart enough to keep out of the way of trains by themselves. Slowing down now for Beringersdorf. If I can reach this. You have some German blood, Violet. Do you keep it in the fridge? You going to talk to the microphone, Cascat? Probably not. I can't reach the button. There's a cat in the way. This time we're going to stop. There's nothing wrong with getting rid of level crossings. He's watching the windscreen wiper on the train, I think. The door's open. There we go. Enjoy your shopping, Violet. This is Cascat. Off we go to Ruckersdorf. Or is it Ruckersdorf? Probably Ruckersdorf. Violet lined a room with cedar panels for the smell. That's cool. Hey, Cascat, I'm going to have to acknowledge the signal, and I can't. And I have to slow down. It's very hard to do PZB one-handed and control the train. I'm getting mad, Cat, because I'm moving you around so I can control the train. Yep, she's getting mad. Alright, off you go. He's now killing the scratching post to get revenge on me. Then we go into Ruckersdorf. That's why it wanted me to slow down. We're changing tracks. It could be catastrophic, yes. Evie's the one more likely to take out your face, though. It's a dull day on the railway today. Next stop, Ruckersdorf. You can stop now, train. Honest. Any time now. Just, you know, when you're ready. And those ones didn't open. So it's Fahrgast information. Do you think that character's meant to have a camera? They do have a camera. So they're taking pictures of a bloke reading the newspaper. And there's a bloke fishing in the park. I understand. I completely understand what's happening here. Are you confused? No, not a Gunzel, because he's taking pictures of a bloke reading a newspaper, which is a little bit weird. Okay. It's time to go anyway. At least with German trackage, I can go through a set of points at 60 kilometers an hour. Not 5 like they make you do on the American ones. I'll stop that. You don't need to be stopping me. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Lexic Dark says, surrealist German outdoor flash mob activities. Don't question it, ever. Could be. Off to visit Ludwig. More power. Not that I should accelerate much with Ludwig only being a kilometre away. I'd be pleased to know the cat is now licking her date. Just to... because she can. Achieved a full equalising brake application in a German train. I'm impressed. Stops pretty well, thus proving that the issue we had before was in fact the monkey. Acceleration on the Sniddy. Don't forget to stop at laugh. Ha ha. It's our next stop. Not for a while. Neunkirchen Ascend. Anarchist Angel says a lot of drivers hate the Lint trains, but they like them. Loud and rumbly's always good. Clearly out in the burbs here. Bridge up, made it. That signal has a pointy hat. Anarchist Angel says a lot of vibration going on. Likes it because it makes the train feel more powerful than it really is. Pulling up into the island platform this time at Neunkirchen. I'm not sure what the character this one actually does. Oh, she's doing music. Okay then. Should we let her in the train? Why not? She clearly doesn't want to get in the train. Where are we going with this one? I've got a few more stops to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's almost Fundy Electric Dark. Lexic Dark said that it's typical of an inferiority complex, loud and rumbly with a lack of true power. No, I forgot you guys have met Box. Box is, you can't really see it because of my background filter, but Box is my PZB buttons. I made my own little keyboard for PZB and CIFA and opening closing doors on Train Sim World. Applied all the brakes. Must be a good angle here somewhere. Maybe not. Ah, that'll do. No, not a go via. Alright, was a stopping point. I just gave it all the possible brakes. It was all good. And laptops and coffee everywhere. Huddersbrook coming up. Or is it Huddersbrook? 3:30 again, Anarchist Angel. Wasn't long after that I got up yesterday to go and do my steam shift. And of course, as usual, whenever you need a good night's sleep, but you're doing something unusual, you wake up every hour going, is it time yet? Is it time yet? And eventually you just give up and get up. Lexic Dark says box is good. Used to make a set of buttons and a digital joystick for a classic game console. They're plugged into the PS2 socket. It actually is a gaming joystick and keyboard controller that I used for box. Very simple little controller. Simple and clever. Look at the weird sky. Something strange going on there, that's for sure. We may have some new faces on Tuesday night's Peak Forest stream, because I'm getting featured by Dovetail, so they'll have a countdown running on their channel, in theory timed to coincide with the start on mine. Sometimes it works. Those of you who use Discord may have noticed the announcement yesterday that we're all getting renamed. We're losing our 4 numbers. And people will be offered names in the order that they signed up to Discord. I just realised the cricket noises you hear are the doors closing. Off we go to Hollandstadt. I suppose it's probably Hockenstadt, isn't it? Well, I suppose, Anarchist Angel, when you get your note that says rename yourself, you could always rename yourself to keep your numbers. But your names have to be unique. Ooh, that was lucky. It was going a bit quick, but there weren't any PZB speed grids anywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure what their naming pattern actually is, so I don't know about whether you can have the spaces or not. The hills in the distance. Anarchist Angel says PZB GOO is usually only built before a significantly lower speed limit that is still above 90, and puts in usually. Yeah, I know where there's one on one of the Train Sim World routes that catches me out all the time. It's under a bridge. I always know it's coming and I always forget. And I always fail to stop in time, and I always fail to slow down, and it goes, well, you can just stop then and wait a minute. Great. Thanks. Oh, I thought it left middle of the gates behind then, but no. Oh, Sifa. Be nice to me, Sifa. Brakes off. It's one way to slow down for a platform. Pretty squeaky brakes, this thing. It's a massively warm 12 degrees here today. I have to say it was very, very nice being in the steam cab yesterday. Normally at Lakeside when we shut down for an hour or so, and I use the word shut down laughingly because with a steam engine, of course, you don't. There is no way to shut them down. Well, except oil burners. Normally the crew will wait outside on the platform and have lunch, and we all got out and had our lunch, and then we all got back in the engine because it was too cold. And I even woke the fire up a bit early just to keep us warm. What's left? Vora, Riprek Stegen, Velden, Newhouse. Newhouse sounds like a Simpsons character. There's the crickets. Away we go. Full beans. I want to go up ahead and see if there's any more level crossings. Because for no readily apparent reason, I want a video of a level crossing. Ah, there is one. Good. So we're going to come up here. Where's my train track? Oh, there it is. Is there another one that I can get the full sequence? Not for a while, it seems. Turn the HUD back on or I'll miss the thing. See, I thought I was all set up to record that, but I forgot to actually do it. Oh, CIFA not acknowledged. Fine. Just let it release, get to the point where it releases its brakes, and then I will accelerate again. Looks like it has, so we can accelerate. There must be another level crossing here somewhere. There's got to be. Wow. If there is, it's a long way away. That's as far as I can go at the moment. Vora coming up. That's something I should do today while it's still dry. Go out and mow my grass. Doesn't that sound like fun? Just while this is stopped, I'm going to try and race away and see if there's another level crossing. Giving you the drone's eye preview of the route. No level crossings until the tunnel. It's an interesting question what's going on with the Sky Anarchist Angel. I don't know. I suspect it's, yes, a giant sky cloaca. Yes. I suspect it's RWE because I use RWE with TS Transsim Classic and I think it maybe doesn't like the new version very much. I must have a look and see if there's a patch for RWE. So I can run without the HUD for a little while because I know at least as far as the tunnel there's no station. And now I'll put the HUD back on in case there's a station nearby, which there is. Okay, where's the train? Up there. Is there a level crossing? No. We all need to know these things. No, there's another tunnel. We're out in the boonies now. Good night, Anarchist Angel. Hopefully you will have a good night. Not far off the finishing this anyway, because we'll just take it to the last few platforms. Of course. Chopper chop. I know how to chopper chop. Clearly I do. So I commenced the ritual fight to get into said chopper chop. When did chopper chops get really little? Few tunnels to Veldon. Hello, Veldon. I would be surprised. Call it an artifact of streaming too long. Right. I have to go over the tunnel, do I? Are there no more level crossings on this route? It's kind of looking that way. Hello, Violet. We're nearly done. I've got a couple more stations to go. And I found a chopper chop. I don't know why there was a chopper chop on my desk, but there was. So we're in Veldon now. Not that you can tell. But we are. Oh, you got rained on. That's not good. Let me check the radar, because I want to mow the grass. And it's sunny here at the moment. Yeah, a bit of wetness coming. Okay. Winter's the time that working on steam engines is really good. When did Chupa Chups get little, Violet? They're tiny. Off we go to Lou House. Gratuitous Chupa Cup shot. There you go. No, Lexic Dark, you've always had a big mouth. Resistance was futile. Mint patties are very sad little things now, aren't they? It's like wagon wheels. They're not wagon wheels anymore. And this is our last stop for the stream today. New House. In our celebration of all things Flying Scotsman, Pegnitzalbahn, Long Island Railroad and Huddersfield. And then back to Pegnitzalbahn. I don't think they're even that big, Lexic Dark. And that's it. Tuesday night, 7 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, timed for the embargo raising at 10 AM UTC. I will be streaming Peak Forest in Train Sim World 3, the brand new Steam route. And can't give you details, but it is very good. At about the same time, a whole bunch of tutorials will launch because there is some new stuff that you need to learn to actually have a good run in Peak Forest. So have fun, folks. It's been great having you along. Thanks, Violet, Lexic Dark, Anarchist Angel, and the others that have hung out to the end here. I can see there's a few others hanging around. So awesome stuff. Have fun, folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to race outside and mow the grass before that rain gets here, which I don't like my chances, but that's okay, because I did kind of promise I'd do it. Alrighty, have fun, folks. See you later. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments, because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe, and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. and thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.